So guys, I am going on a challenge. Yeah, I'm going on a challenge. It's a 30 days challenge where I make at least 5 minutes video for 30 days. You cannot become the better version of yourself. You cannot change who you are until you learn to accept yourself. There's something called the real self and ideal self. The real self is who you truly are, and the ideal self is who you want to become. You have to accept who you truly are in order to become who you want to become. You cannot run away from your real self. You just have to embrace it in order to transform it into the ideal self. Hey guys, what's up you? Okay, so like I said earlier before, for you to attain change or transformation, there has to be congress. I call it sync with your real self and ideal self, and we talked about what real self is and what an ideal self is. I mentioned that real self is that person that you truly are, and then the ideal self is the person that you want to become. Okay, so I think I spotted with my own self that the mistake most people make is that they want to avoid the real self and then go for the ideal self, and for the meantime it will seem like it's making progress, but at the end of the day you realize that you are not making progress because this real self will drag you back to the mud like you never made any progress. So it is important that you ensure that this real self actually do the transition into the ideal self. And why I'm actually here is to suggest certain things that actually worked for me. Okay, so first thing first, I had to accept who I am. I told you that if there's no self-acceptance, there's no way you can be able to change. You have to accept, oh, this is who I am, these are my flaws. I am talkative, I am lazy, I'm not hardworking, I'm always lazy, I'm always tensed, I have fears. You accept who you are, you accept what you have in terms of maybe how you look, you accept everything, because in the long run you will observe that little things as this has a way of bringing us back like we have never made progress before. So you have to accept yourself for who you are. So the second step actually would be decondition certain mindsets, probe your consciousness, take out time. When you feel such way, when you find yourself in your default state, ask yourself, what are those things that trigger these things? What are those mindsets I've got that has made me act the way I just did, or made me feel the way I just did, or maybe made me respond the way I just did? And as time goes on, you begin to decondition those mindsets. And now this leads me to the third, that you have to be tolerant with yourself, because even if you discover these faults, even if you discover these mistakes, you will still find yourself going back to them even when you are trying not to go back to them. Let me just be a little bit practical for proper understanding. Okay, I used to have eating disorder. I had eating disorder. Okay, so I find out that whenever I am feeling bad, feeling unrested, when I'm feeling uncomfortable, frustrated, I start eating. If I'm tensed, if I'm in a state of tension, I start eating. I had to take our time and begin to reflect that, oh, what's happening to me? Why am I always eating? Why am I doing this to myself? Upon reflection, I discovered that I use eating for comfort. As a psychologist, this has to do with childhood issues and problems. All those things we will talk about on another episode, or as time goes on, begin to reflect on them. But this is the part I don't want us to digress. So now what I started doing was the fact that I started accepting that, oh, when I'm frustrated, so sometimes when I'm frustrated, I try to starve that urge to eat, but I find myself falling sometimes. But I just have to accept myself. First of all, I had to accept that, oh, this is for comfort. I do not criticize myself. I do not, most times the problem arises when we find that this is the problem, we start criticizing ourselves. Oh, the more you criticize yourself, the more you are belittling yourself. Okay, for the last suggestion I will be making, and that will be separate your identity from the performance. So you see it as, oh, this is what I'm doing, not, oh, this is who I am. You can only change when you accept yourself, when you are confident in who you are, in as much as you are looking forward to becoming a better version of yourself. Okay, so that's it for Stretch today, and I hope to see you guys more often throughout this episode. This is for now 1/30, and I'm looking forward to making it 30/30.